I guess our first question is, how are you feeling? I know we, just like so many other D-backs fans, are looking forward to seeing you back on the mound.
Yeah, feeling pretty solid so far, progressing pretty well. Got a sim game today, as I imagine you guys already know. So yeah, feeling pretty good so far. So we're heading in the right direction.
Perfect. Well, I know you guys, you and your partners at Shamrock Farms are making an exciting announcement today. Can you fill us in a little bit on that?
Yeah. So for me, it's just I've been here now 6 years. So just kind of starting to put down roots. Have a house here now. Spending about 11 months of the year here now, off season included and stuff like that. So just starting to feel a little bit more a part of the community, and just kind of feeling how the community has been behind me, has been behind us the last couple years. I feel like I really wanted to get involved, and so for me it was partnering with Shamrock and St. Mary's Food Bank, and being able to help kids that are food insecure, especially in these summer months, really, because it gets hot. Kids don't have school. They don't have school lunches to look forward to. So to be able to partner with St. Mary's and Shamrock is it just it's been unbelievable. Shamrock's donating 2,300 gallons of milk to the cause, and they've been even better than I expected when our partnership started. How many ever months ago it's been now. Me just getting involved just felt like, because of my platform, I needed to get involved, and I wanted to get involved, and I want to be able to help and put a just be able to help in the community. And then Shamrock's like, hey, we want to get involved too. So I've been truly humbled by them, wanting to help out.
For fans, Zach, who maybe want to get involved themselves, how can they make a donation or maybe volunteer some of their time?
Yeah, so there's two ways. You can go to mlb.com/dbacks/community, and then my charitable fund is under the player program page. So if you want to make a financial donation, I'd be thrilled and humbled, but at the same time, if you can't donate, you can also volunteer some of your time, and for that you can go to firstfoodbank.org. That's with St. Mary's. Both really unbelievable organizations, St. Mary's and Shamrock. So for me, this partnership has been incredible, really.
Well, it's an elite partnership with the fact that you're the Milkman, which, by the way, is a nickname that I have been defending, and I will die on that hill for you no matter what. There will be no other Milkmen. There's just you as the Milkman. But I did want to ask you this.
That Colton Cowser has been referred to as the Milkman too. So I'm wondering, I guess I get it. It makes sense. But it is what it is.
He can have his own thing. He can be the Moo Man or whatever. But since you are the Milkman, I did have to ask, do you have a go-to cereal?
A go-to cereal? I haven't been on the cereal kick lately, but when I was, it was. See, when I eat a cereal, I mean one cereal. So like it's gone from Captain Crunch Berries. I had a Lucky Charm phase, and then I was going with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh. But my favorite, no matter what, is Frosted Cheerios. Is my go-to.
I love that you did not. You didn't give me any healthy cereals, and I appreciate that. I love that.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know that there's a healthy cereal.
There you go.
Like at that point, how are you eating cereal? You might as well you're eating just dry or whatever, bland. So yeah, if you're eating cereal, you're eating unhealthy. You're eating something unhealthy.
Yeah, I guess you just have to embrace it's basically a dessert at that point. Zach, switching over to baseball here for a second. You guys, obviously this season maybe hasn't gone exactly how you would have drawn it up to this point in the season, but obviously with you getting close here, Eduardo and Merrill obviously getting somewhat close here, hopefully in the next month or two, it seems like you guys could be set up well for the second half of the season to really go on a nice run.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, obviously this season hasn't gone exactly how we planned, considering how last year went. But I think that just kind of speaks I think for where we're at speaks to the culture in this organization, the depth in this organization. Obviously, nobody's expecting, you go to the World Series year before, and then, you make some signs and you have guys you hope, make the next step in terms of their career. And then, you're looking at how many ever guys on the IL. I don't know what the exact number was at one point in time. And key pieces. So that's always tough. But I think it just kind of speaks to just the culture that we've fostered in the clubhouse that we have, that like guys are able to hold the line of like, okay, we got to just keep doing our part. We don't need to do any more than what we were intended to do before. Maybe some guys got to step up just a little bit, but just to be able to hold the line until the reinforcements get back. You got to tip your cap to guys like that. I mean, you're talking about almost, I think it was over 2 months of being under 500. And then, you grind your way back, to get through to 500, and then obviously lose a tough series in Philadelphia. But yeah, if you would have told us at the beginning of the year that, hey, we are going to miss this guy for this amount of time, I think a lot of people would take 2 games under 500 with, half the season left to play, and those guys looking to come back around, the All-Star break, if, maybe even longer, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, I obviously it's not ideal, but I'm proud of the guys for the way that they've kind of, held the line.
Yeah, I was going to ask your thoughts on the young pitchers that have kind of had, such a weird season, being called upon, being sent down, being called back upon. It feels like a lot on them, and it feels like they've responded well, and they've helped keep this team right there around 500.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you look at a guy like Slade. For instance, Slade gets called up when Merrill gets hurt, and he throws really well. And he's battling, he's great the first time through the order, and then he's 10 to battle, and he's grinding the second, third time through the order, and he has another couple good starts. They send him down, and then he has, like, I think 2 good starts down there, and then they call him back up, and he's improved on what it was that got him sent down in the first place, and he's improved on the fly. I don't think people understand. I think they underestimate how hard it is to be able to improve things as drastic as that. And it's not even necessarily that's not even a physical change. That's just a mental change of being like, okay, I'm good the first time to do it, but what do I need to change mentally? Maybe something physically, maybe it's something pitch mix, maybe it's usage, whatever it is. How can I do that on the fly in the big leagues when I expected to be down in the minor leagues, being able to work on this thing? So that's the tip of the cap to Slade. And then you got a guy, same thing, like in Nelly's, changing his pitch mix, changing his usage, and he's learning that on the fly in the big leagues, trying to get big league hitters out. It's not easy. I mean, it's a very lonely place when you're out there and you're grinding and you're trying to figure things out at the big league level, because you're making mistakes and they're making you pay. And especially at a time when your team's counting on you to give them a solid start every 5th day to give them a chance to win. So yeah, those guys have stepped up tremendously. And then, Monty at the same time has, trying to round in the form. I mean, I think as monotonous as spring training is, and as much as, after like the 10th day, everyone's like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's start the real thing.
Right.
There's some value into like having that spring training, seeing hitters every 5th day, going through the routine, building up that stamina, just kind of, the season stamina, not necessarily your workload and stuff like that. So yeah, so like Monty's, coming out of that, and so we're rounding the shape here, and obviously the offense has been, has held us afloat really most of the time, the offense and the bullpen. So yeah, it's been really good so far for what we've had to deal with.
One guy you guys did get back from injury recently is Geraldo Perdomo, and Jordan Montgomery. And I think it was Perdomo's first game back. Montgomery just couldn't stop talking about how great it was to have Domo back in the clubhouse, and how he talks to him a lot during his outings and encourages him and whatnot. Can you just speak to Perdomo and kind of his impact on you as a starting pitcher when you're out there?
Yeah, Domo's great. I mean, that's the thing. If the ball is hit within I don't even know, 10-foot radius of him from left to right, it's an out. So in terms of a physical, him just being out there and playing his position, he's getting to a lot of balls. And I think the thing about Domo is that it doesn't look very flashy as you would see other infielders, but sure, he's making is that a lot of guys are not making, or even if he's not making the play and getting the out at first, he's knocking the ball down and keeping the ball in the infield and potentially saving a run, or he's throwing the cutoff to the right base, a spot that saves a run or doesn't allow a guy to advance 90 feet. He's doing the small things that people that, if you're not watching the game at a really granular level, you're not understanding that. So on the physical side, that's what Domo means to the team. And at the same time, at the bottom of the order, he tends to stretch out the lineup, at the 9 hole. He's like having another lead bottom of the order. And I think you guys have seen that now since he's been back the last, how many ever it's been, 2 weeks or whatever it is. He's always seemed up in a spot where you need a big hit, or you need a leadoff runner on base, or you need to get the guy over. And he always seems to come up at that spot. Now on the other side of it, the Domo side of it, the clubhouse side of it, he's great. I mean, I think he's the bridge between, because his English is pretty solid, he's a good bridge between the Latin guys and the English speaking guys, of being able to kind of talk, whether it's to Jordan Montgomery, who is a country boy from South Carolina, Virginia, where South, and he can talk to, Marte, and he can talk to Suarez, and he can talk to, Justin Martinez. He's able to kind of keep the heartbeat of the team. And I think that's something that doesn't necessarily get valued as much as, I think people understand it. I think people see that, but I think being in the clubhouse and being able to see it, you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. There's this kind of, I don't know the exact word for it, but there's just this kind of stability when he comes back. And it's like, everyone's like, all right, we got, this guy's like our heartbeat type of deal. And when your heartbeat comes back, it tends to do good things for you.
We recently discussed that they are going to be using the ABS challenge system in AAA instead of the ABS anyway. They're going full ABS challenge system. I wanted to see what your thoughts were on that, and if you like that versus going with an automatic strike zone, or automated strike zone, I should say.
I don't know. I've never used either one of them, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to speak from experience. I will say that it is, I don't know. I'm conflicted on that, because you are taking the human element out in terms of the automated strike zone, but at the same time, there's some spots where some calls, go one way or the other, where it would be nice to get the right call in a big spot. And it's like, and being able to challenge, I think if I had to lean, just from what I've talked to the guys that have played in AAA and have used both, I think the challenge system seems like the more ideal way to do it, just because we have challenges on video replay and stuff like that. So to have a full on automated zone, I think will be tough, because I think there's going to be a lot of kinks, and I think there's still going to be kinks to work out with the challenge system, but that's only happening so many times throughout the night, when you're going, oh, I didn't like that pitch or that call, I guess, to say I'm going to challenge that, as opposed to 100 and some odd every night on each side that the automated zones in play. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what MLB decides to do with something like that, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I have a bit of a crazy one here for you, Zach. If you could steal a pitch from one of your teammates, which pitch would you steal? So, Merrill Kelly's changeup, whatever comes to your mind, what would you say?
If I could steal a pitch, that's a good question.
I guess you already have a changeup, so taking Merrill's changeup probably wouldn't make any sense at all.
Now, good as Merrill's changeup is, I'm content with mine.
Yours is pretty good too.
I'm content. I need something that's like a difference maker. So my first thought was Justin Martinez's fastball.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That feels like the right answer.
100. Do I get to have my command, or do
Yes. Yes.
It's not even close. So that was other than we have some other guys with some really good stuff, but that I think is the separator. If I threw 100 miles an hour, it would be such a separator. Yeah, I think I'm taking that.
Wait,
Zach, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you stopping by. Thank you to Shamrock Farms. And honestly, thank you for everything you're doing for the community. We really appreciate you being involved in programs like this.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.